thank everybody for coming out tonight in the weather. These guys have done a great job sharing the story. Now, none of them cried, and that's okay, but I'm going to give you fair warning. I'm going to cry. And I'm an ugly crier. So you're just going to have to bear with me for just a little bit. From the very beginning, my parents, Jamie and Idora Cooper, were honest with me. They let me know that I had been adopted. It never really registered with me until I was around 6 years old and in the first grade of school. I was always comfortable talking with my daddy about anything. I don't remember where we were, but I asked him this question. Daddy, why did my real mama want me? Without any hesitation, he set me down, and this is what he said. Son, I don't know why she didn't want you. Maybe one day, if you ever meet her, you can ask her. But let me explain something to you. When a man and woman get married and decide to have a baby, they go to the hospital. When their baby arrives, they have to take that baby home with them. They're stuck with that baby. Your mama and I went to the children's home to get a baby of our very own. The nurse took us to this room that was filled with all these little babies. We looked around the room, all the babies that were there. After that, we told the nurse that out of all the babies in that room, we wanted that fat little ugly one in the corner. My daddy was a jokester. You see, son, he went on to say, we didn't get stuck with you. Out of all the babies in that room, we chose you because you are special. My daddy hugged me and asked me if I understood. I said, yes, I did, and I never asked that question again. You see, I grew up in a loving home. My mom and daddy were simple folks. My daddy only had a 3rd grade education, and my mom only had a 6th grade education. Daddy always kept a job. Mama sometimes worked outside the home on the farm, but mostly she ran the house. We didn't have fancy clothes or a fancy car, and we didn't live in a fancy house. Sometimes the kids at school would pick on me because of the high water pants that I wore or the country way that I talked. Now, being a normal kid, sometimes that bothered me. However, as I got older, I realized that material things really didn't matter in the big picture of life. My daddy and mama taught me that it's not the kind of clothes someone wears, or the car they drive, or the house they live in that matters. What matters is that you have love, and that you show love and compassion for others. Basically, it's what a person has on the inside that makes a difference. I can stand here tonight and tell you my mom and daddy loved me, and they always put me first. They may not have given me the best the world had to offer, but they willingly always gave me the best they had to offer. Never once did I ever doubt their love for me. We were a special family and often did things a little bit differently than most other families. I'll give an example. I always enjoyed Thanksgiving. Most families get together on Thanksgiving and they have a big dinner with turkey and dressing and ham and stuffing and pies and things of that nature. Maybe even watch a little bit of football. Well, not us. The Cooper family would load up the truck with camping supplies, hook up the boat behind the truck, and head off to the river for a few days of camping. Our Thanksgiving dinner would consist of freshly caught fish, cornbread dodgers, cooked over an open fire on the sandbar at the river. To me, this was normal. As I look back, these are the kind of memories that are special to me. I won't trade anything for these adventures, and I hope I'll never forget them. My daddy was a disciplinarian of the family. He believed the saying, spare the rod, spoil the child. I remember one time we were fishing. Like I said, we did a lot of fishing. I was around 12 years old or so. We had a small fishing boat. My mama was on the front seat, I was on the fishing box, and my daddy was on the back seat. I can't remember exactly what he said for me to do. Well, I responded by saying, I ain't. Yeah. Immediately, I had known that I had made a big mistake. It kind of felt like my tongue pushed the words out of my mouth so fast, but my brain was too slow to stop it. The next thing I knew, I felt a boat paddle hit me on the left side up under my ribs. And the paddle broke. My daddy simply said, boy, you realize who you're talking to? If you don't know how to talk with respect, then you keep your mouth closed. I responded, yes, sir. And we kept on fishing. Now, in today's world, some of you would probably classify that as a form of child abuse. Not me. When I share that story, I tell people that this was Jesus looking out for me because Jesus loved me and was showing me mercy. They asked, what do I mean by that? I simply explained that Jesus allowed the boat paddle to break on me with the first swing because he knew my daddy. Jesus knew that if that paddle hadn't broke on the first swing, Daddy would have hit me again. Now understand, people may want to blame Daddy, but my daddy was doing his job. Another saying I heard him say over the years is, it's the little foxes that spoil the vine. Basically, get the little things in check and they will never become a bigger problem. Truthfully, I got my share of spankings and I deserved every single one of them. And I probably should have got a few more. Daddy didn't always punish me with spankings. Sometimes when I did something wrong, he would say something like, son, you knew better than that. I'm disappointed in you. Well, if I had my choice of type of punishments, give me the spankings every time. It hurt me far more to hear those words from my daddy than the spankings ever did. But as far as my spankings that I received from Daddy, he did give me a lot more hugs than the spankings. Now, Mama, I was Mama's baby. You can ask anybody in the family, there's no doubt about it, that Daddy hit me with a bow paddle. Mama wasn't happy. She was a very special lady. She always made sure I was taken care of. As I stated earlier, didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up. I remember when I was in elementary school, getting up in the morning to ride the school bus. At night, the heat would be turned down low in the house, and it would be cold in the morning, and she woke me up for school. I would run to the kitchen to find Mama there with the stove on and the oven door open. My pants and shirt would be lying there on the open oven door. They would be so warm, and she would quickly help me get out of my night clothes and into my school clothes. Breakfast would be ready with scrambled eggs, sausage, a piece of toast, a glass of milk. After breakfast, she'd help me get my jacket on and get me on the school bus to head off to school. After school, I'd get off the bus and run into the house. There, I would always find something to eat. Mama would have it waiting on me. Everything was fixed and prepared on the table. Growing up, I never had to come home to an empty house. I never had to wonder where my mama was or when she was coming home. Mama was always there, meeting my needs, making me feel safe, and always showing me that she loved me and that I was special to her. In our family, church was a must. I never had a choice if I wanted to go to church or not. Daddy always said as long as I lived under his roof, I would have my behind in church. I was taught about God's love for all and how important it was to have a relationship with him. God is to always be first in your life. You can always look to him for guidance, no matter what the situation in your life may be. Daddy and Mama also taught me that there was a difference, there was a big difference between knowing about God and personally knowing God. They taught me that even when I made a mistake, God still loved me. Without God in your life, you will never experience true happiness. God is good all the time. Through the years, I experienced many different things. Things like getting my first job, getting my first car, getting my first girlfriend. Daddy and Mama always was there to offer advice and help guide me into adulthood, although I didn't always listen. After graduating high school in 1987, I got married in 1988 against my daddy's advice. He told me I wasn't ready for marriage, but I didn't listen. He was right. After getting married, I joined the military. I was shipped off to Germany, and my wife joined me a short time later. We were scared to death because neither of us had been that far from home. However, it turned out to be a great experience for both of us. We had our first child together in 1990. Her name was Melanie. A few years later, we were shipped back to the United States. I had decided to get out of the military. With the help of my parents, we were able to buy our first real home. My wife was pregnant with our second child at this time. Things seemed to be going great. In 1992, she gave birth to another baby girl, Mara. However, immediately after giving birth, we were told something was wrong. We were shocked because this came as a total surprise to us. We had no idea that something was wrong with our baby. Mara was transported from Georgetown Hospital to MUSC in Charleston. After meeting with a team of 19 specialty doctors who had evaluated Mara's condition, we were given the bad news. Basically, Mara was born with a rare condition. The doctor stated she would be lucky to live, and if she did live, she would not live past 5 years old. She would be deaf, blind, and have some physical deformities and would need a special shunt in her head. She would never be able to live on her own and have children. The doctors asked questions about our family history in an attempt to understand Laura's condition and to possibly help her. Of course, my wife shared her family history, but I was at a disadvantage because I didn't know any of my family history. Shortly afterwards, I met with my parents and explained the situation to them. I told them that I wanted to start looking for my biological parents to try and help Laura and her doctors. I reassured them that this didn't have anything to do with them. They were my parents and would always be my parents. Of course, they understood and agreed. My wife assisted me and the search began. We contacted an agency in Columbia that assisted people with this matter. Luck seemed to be on our side. About 3 months into the search, the agency contacted us and informed us that they were able to match me with my birth mother. I was so excited and so scared at the same time. This was really happening. The agency also informed me that they had also notified her about me. My biological mother had made a request that she initiate contact with me, and of course I agreed to do this. A short time later, my phone rang. I answered it with unbelievable excitement and anticipation. At age 22, I heard my biological mother's voice for the very first time. I learned that her name was Debbie Ethridge, and she lived in Georgia. As we introduced ourselves to each other over the phone, emotions were all over the place. We laughed, cried, and shook with nervous excitement and joy that we had finally made a connection. A few days later, we agreed to meet in person. Debbie came to my house and the feelings were unbelievable. I don't know how to explain this, but the first time I laid eyes on her, something clicked inside me. It was like, here's this stranger, but I've known her all my life. It was amazing to see someone who had some of the same physical features that I had. People who are born to regular families take this for granted. Anyway, I explained to Debbie the main reason I had decided at this time in my life to try and make contact with her. After reviewing family history, the only medical condition that Laura had that runs in Debbie's family tree is a small trace of scoliosis. After getting medical questions out of the way, I finally was able to ask Debbie that long-awaited question. Why did you put me up for adoption? Debbie explained that in 1969, she had just turned 15 years old, 2 weeks prior to giving birth to me. My biological father was not in the picture. She, along with her parents, felt like it was the best decision for everyone involved at the time. Debbie stated she was sorry and asked for my forgiveness. Through tears, I explained that there was no hard feelings and there was nothing to forgive. I had 2 great parents who loved me and gave me a home. I thank Debbie for having enough love for me to put me up for adoption and giving me a chance at life. Remember when I said earlier that God is good? Everybody remember that? Allow me to expand on this for a moment and share with you all just a few examples of how God has blessed me and my family. My oldest child, Melanie, has added 2 grandchildren to the family. My grandson, Landon, who is 11, and a granddaughter, Raylan, who is 6. With lots of people praying, and with the help of glasses, my middle daughter, Mara, can see. Mara is not perfect in the eyes of man, but she is perfect in the eyes of God, because He don't make mistakes, folks.
That's right.
She can hear, she can walk, and she can talk. The child that the team of doctors at MUSC told us probably wouldn't live to be 5 years old, is now almost 28 years old. The child that will never bear children of her own has a 5-year-old child, my granddaughter, Maya. Maya was born with absolutely no health problems whatsoever. Don't tell me miracles don't happen anymore. This place is full of living, breathing miracles. God is good. As the years have gone by, things do and forever will always change. I've had the pleasure of meeting my biological grandparents and extended family. I was able to develop a relationship with them. I even met my biological father once before he passed away. Debbie has met her son, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, and has developed a relationship with them also. Life can throw some unexpected twists and curves at you, some good and some bad. For example, my marriage to Melanie and Mara's mother didn't work out. Many years later in life, and after having my girls and having my grandchildren, God blessed me with another child of my own in 2013. His name is Hoss, Cooper. Yeah, also in it. God has a sense of humor. He is 6. So yes, I have children and grandchildren who are the same age. I guess it's safe to say that there's a little bit of Jerry Springer in this family. Later on, I got remarried to a wonderful lady. Her name is Angela. I'm proud to say that both my mama and my biological mother, Debbie, attended the wedding sitting side by side with each other on the front row. Debbie moved to Florence last year, and we talk every day. God is good. Now, both my mama and daddy have passed away. My daddy passed away in 2008, and my mama passed away just last year. I miss them because they were not only my parents, they were my best friends. They helped to instill morals, values, and accountability in me. Before blaming someone else for my problems, to always look in the mirror first. They taught me that things in life that really matter aren't found in the world, they're found in the heart. In closing, I would like to take a moment and address abortion. Obviously, I am not a woman, or do I possess the credentials to judge anyone. I've heard people say it's a woman's body, it's her choice. It doesn't affect anyone but her. I'm here to disagree. If Debbie would have taken that viewpoint, then there would have been no Jamie. If Debbie would have taken the easy way out, there would have been no Melanie, no Mar, and no Hoss. There would have been no Landon, no Raylan, and no Maya. By my count, that's 7 other people that Debbie's decision could have affected. Plus, there's no telling what the future holds for this family. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Thank you, Debbie, for having the courage to give me a chance in life. I do love you for that. And finally, I'll leave you all with this one last thought from my daddy. He would say, son, just because you have a right to do something doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. God is good, and all the time, God is good. Now I want to introduce you to my biological birth mother, who is here tonight, Miss Debbie Ethridge.
Giving up training was the hardest thing ever done in my life. But it was also the best thing I did because God has rewarded me 1,000,000 times over.